interesting story we've been following. Jimmy Butler will return and start for the Miami Heat after serving a 7-game suspension. Now, Eric Spoelstra, he addressed reporters ahead of this game, and he said the Heat, they're in a little bit of an unusual place. Yeah, I would say that. But you can continue to operate the way that they always do. That's what he said. He said, you're looking for drama. I'm looking to get this team ready to play at a high level. It's not us necessarily looking for drama. It's maybe things like this, where Jimmy's agent releases a statement a la Michael Jordan.
David Falk.
And David Falk saying, I'm back.
You miss being an agent? You miss being an agent?
Is that a fax or is that a tweet?
Brian, let's dive into this a little bit more before we get to where the Heat go from here and trades and all of that. Spo had some really interesting comments. What stood out to you?
Yes, Eric Spoelstra, we nickname him the Spobot because he operates very under control.
Yeah.
He had some different type of comments before the game. My favorites were, we're operating within complexity. You can say that again. Having covered this story for the last month, I can tell you it's complex. But my favorite was also, my methods for doing it are really none of your business. So take that.
Well, yeah.
I will say this. I've been working the story for weeks with Shams Charania. I've talked to people dozens of times. This is the only thing that you need to know. And this is what the Heat fans need to know, and certainly the Heat know. Jimmy Butler's #1 goal is not beating the Nuggets tonight. Not that he doesn't want to beat them. It's not scoring 30 tonight. Not that he doesn't want to score 30. His #1 goal is to be traded. And his actions will be aimed at getting himself traded, preferably to the Phoenix Suns. Period. That's #1.
Well, I like how you outlined that, but we know, obviously, right? I mean, he's certainly acting like a guy that does not want to be where he is. First of all, I could say a lot about this. I do love that Heat organization. Eric Spoelstra is one of, if not the best, one of the best coaches in the NBA. I don't think any of us would dispute that. His comments about saying it's none of your business, it's getting to him a little bit. That's not his nature. That's not who he is. That tells you something about how he's feeling about it. He's tired of it. He's trying to coach the team and win basketball games. Pat Riley, by his statements, is tired of it. These people have had tremendous success in the NBA. This is not how they operate, right? But there's a good quote on drama. It says, drama does not just walk into your life. Either you create it, invite it, or associate with it. Guess who's been around some drama? Ooh. Jimmy Butler. Ooh. You want Jimmy Butler? Part of the package is drama. Yeah. And I like Jimmy Butler. I think he's an unbelievable player, and he's one of the most competitive players our league has ever seen.
He's earned playoff Jimmy.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
He helps you win. He's not about numbers. Jimmy Butler plays both ends of the floor, and he wins. But Jimmy Butler has decided, I'm done. And Jimmy Butler seems like he's going to do everything he can to create disruption. And the last thing you want when you're trying to win in this league, as a president of basketball, as a coach, and I would ask you, Richard, as a player, is it's hard enough. Don't add drama or chaos or disruption. And that's what's making this thing so hard for a very proud organization that has been able to avoid this type of situation for a long time, decades.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Jimmy. Jimmy's going to do what's best for Jimmy. We know that now collectively. You said that. Jimmy wants to do. The Miami Heat are stuck in a tough situation because they have to do what's best for their organization moving forward.
Right.
So that means even tolerating certain things that they wouldn't necessarily normally tolerate because they can't just send Jimmy home. There's a lot of different things, but they still have to get value for one of the better players in this league.
Sure, but there's Ramona Shelburne wrote an excellent, well-researched article that's up on ESPN.com right now where there's a source saying we don't want Jimmy Butler back, essentially.
That means Jimmy's winning.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Because Jimmy wants out of there. Jimmy doesn't want to be tolerated.
But if you're a
he
player,
wants to be traded.
how do you absorb
but here's
that?
the thing. Jimmy is so powerful.
Yeah.
He's an alpha's alpha. When Jimmy doesn't want to be somewhere, the whole place knows it. When Jimmy walks in the room, and this is a compliment, you feel this guy. If I was picking a team, I might want Jimmy on it.
Yeah.
But I can't have a team that Jimmy doesn't want to be on. And that's the dilemma here.
Well, as players, we always look at it from a certain step. I believe that Jimmy most likely has enough equity inside that locker room that the players typically understand. It doesn't change their mission. For them, they're just like, we want Jimmy to figure it out, and we want the Heat organization to figure it out. That's not necessarily just on the 12 players in the locker room. It's like, you guys figure this out because we're the people that are on the court having to deal with it.
But I guess what I'm asking is, this is going to come to a head in a matter of minutes, really, when they all have to step onto the floor together. So is the locker room door, hey, as long as you're with us, come on in right now? Or how does that go?
100%. We got a job to do.
No. Let me explain something. The players are for the players.
Yeah.
They always will be, and that's fine. But organizationally, and by the way, I got no problem with players defending each other. But they want players to get paid.
Yeah.
They do. They want each other. They celebrate it. Hey, get your money, get your bag. That's fine. Organizationally, you're the caretaker. Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, the caretakers of an organization, and this is hard to manage right now.
So Bob, you're Pat Riley.
Right.
What do you do? Because Jimmy Butler's starting in this game.
Pat Riley has accomplished much more than I ever have or will.
I agree.
Okay, when the guy says it himself, you don't need to validate when I'm admitting it.
You know what, Bob?
Yeah.
He could use your help right now.
So what would it be? We got about
he's out of
30
his depth.
seconds before we got to go to break. Your 30-second solution.
I think the thing you try and do, and you try not to let it get here. Nobody right now, not me, not you, nobody can walk in today and fix this because of what's transpired. So the only thing you can do, and I'm not saying I could have done it any better than anybody, is try to avoid letting it get here.
Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm a